What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with a big breaking news. That's gonna be such a delightful one for all the active IB pros and for the fans as well. So Dubai Pro was such a successful event. The arena was completely sold out. Over 4,000 attendees. So the show really claimed that this is the third biggest bodybuilding show in a calendar year, especially in terms of prize money these guys gave out. And they actually topped the Olympia first place prize money for one of the class, and that was Classic Physique division. Well, they just made this huge announcement that the prize money for next year's big show, that is going to be increased to $500,000 in total. Now just for reference, this year's total prize money, that was $220,000. And I have to say this is just nuts. They are willing to make it more than double for next year. So the men's open bodybuilding will get the biggest jump here, and I'm 100% sure that this is gonna become one of the biggest shows in 2025. All the top guys will be willing to compete here, and why not? If the men's open prize money gets up to 250 grand, then that is still 75k more than what Hadi Chopin got for placing second at this past Miss Olympia. And I have to say same goes for Classic Physique as well. So are you guys also wondering why there hasn't been a single statement made by the event organizers and show promoters of the Olympia in regards to the prize money for this year's Miss Olympia? Because the last time we checked, the Orange Classic is still the biggest bodybuilding show on the planet right now, especially in terms of prize money, because they are giving out $500,000 for the first place finisher for the men's open class. So we are now at less than 11 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia, and the winner is still gonna get $400,000 at the Olympia. So maybe they will increase it after this year's Miss Olympia. But nevertheless, the future of bodybuilding looks very promising, and these athletes are finally going to be able to make some real money by just competing, because previously, most of the guys were heavily relying on the sponsors to pay their bills and to get some money. So Mohamed Foda dropped an update with this caption. It was taken 2 weeks before Chicago Pro, and that mass along with that flow, that makes him one of the most dangerous competitors at this upcoming Tampa Pro. So Foda made a statement on his Instagram story yesterday, and this is the confidence we all like to see in an elite bodybuilder. Because the thing is, the guy has such an awesome physique. He knows that this is gonna be a sick lineup at Tampa Pro, but he has a firm belief that he is gonna make it 2 for 2 this year. For the record, Chicago Pro was the first pro win for Mohamed Foda, and it took a long time for him to finally taste this victory. Because for those of you guys who do not know, he made his pro debut back in 2021 at KO Pro in Egypt, and he actually won his pro card back in 2019. And before this year's Chicago Pro, the shows he did before this one, his best placing was 5th. But I have to say, a change of coach really worked great for him. Plus, he was also a bigger and more complete version of himself this year in Chicago. So Foda might lose the back shots against some of the top competitors. Especially against Jon Delarosa, he's gonna lose both of the back shots. But still, the man has such eye-pleasing physique from the front. He's also unbelievable in those side shots as well. And this time I'm sure he is gonna be more conscious about controlling his midsection a lot better here. Because that was one thing he needed to improve after Chicago. That along with a better tan. Because the thing is, putting on more width in his back, especially in his back lat spread, that's gonna take some time. He is gonna need another option for that. The Tampa Pro lineup keeps getting better and better. As we discussed this earlier, why were all these guys skipping Tampa and going for a Texas Pro instead? Because everybody knew that Andrew Jacked is making his return to the stage in Texas Pro, and that is going to be happening in less than 2 weeks time from now. And no one is beating Andrew. In fact, we all know Andrew is just going to wipe the floor with all the competition there. So another good addition to this lineup at Tampa Pro, that is Jordan Hutchison, who was 5th in Chicago, but his team firmly believe that he could have certainly placed higher than that if the judges did not overlook him at the prejudging. Because at the prejudging, he was unable to make the first call out. And I'm sure you guys remember that the first call out at Chicago Pro, it had 8 guys. But at the finals, he fought his way back up and he placed top 5 at the end, which is something that never happens. So he looks bigger and drier just a few days out of this show. So he doesn't have any standout body parts that makes you go wow, but he's very complete from every angle. And he was in a phenomenal condition at Chicago Pro. So Jordan is up against 3 guys who were able to beat him in Chicago, and who are going to be competing in Tampa as well. And those guys are Vlad, Foda, and Tim. Plus, do not forget, the favorite to win this show, Jon Delarosa. So it's certainly going to be a big challenge for him to convince the judges that he deserves to place higher. but we will see how this show goes for him. So Tim Budesheim, the guy who placed third at this year's Chicago Pro, he also posted a few days out updates from Tampa Pro. So Tim's consistency is absolutely unmatched. This is gonna be his 6th show of the year. And yet the man is still improving, still fighting to get his first pro win. So Tim has announced that this is gonna be the last show of the season for him. So if the Olympia had the same old rules, where they awarded the Olympia qualification based on points as well, top 3 high scoring guys would get the Olympia qualification, then Tim would have certainly made it to the Olympia stage based on points. Because Tim has got multiple top placings this year. 2nd place in Van Pro, 3rd in Chicago. But this is gonna be a tough one for Tim because of the depth of the lineup here. Now, Tim might be one of the most conditioned guy on the stage, but he loses in the symmetry round in the statics department, and that too against multiple top guys. So in terms of the placings, as well as the overall improvements that he was able to make from 2023 to 2024, this was such a successful year for Tim. I have to say this was the best year for Tim so far. But will he be able to bring something different to the stage in less than a week's time? Can he finally get to the Olympia stage? Do let me know what you guys think. Lastly, we have the physique update of Jon Delarosa, who is gonna be a few pounds heavier in Tampa compared to his last show, which was the Arnold Classic Ohio and UK. So you can make an argument that Jon's package at this year's Arnold, especially in Columbus, where he got the opportunity to stand next to the likes of Hadi Choopan, Samson Dauda and Rafael Brandao, that physique was good enough to win a lot of the shows this year. And for that same reason, maybe skipping this year's Detroit Pro, which was scheduled just a few weeks after this year's Arnold. So Jon skipping that show, that did not really make a lot of sense. But him and his coach had better plans. They wanted to put on more size, some more density, before stepping back on the stage. And now the man is ready to win Tampa Pro. I mean, he's the favorite going into this show. And if Jon is able to bring that same condition and improve back and a bit more size in all the right areas, he is certainly gonna win this show hands down. So Jon also knows that he cannot be slightly off in terms of conditioning for this one, because Foda has him on the overall aesthetics and the flow, by going by all the updates that we have seen from Jon so far. And the way Patrick Stewart has been so consistent with all his athletes, I have to say he looks right on the money. So he's the guy with the most amount of experience in this lineup for sure. Because the thing is, Jon has been competing for more than a decade now. I mean, he has competed against a young Big Ramy back in 2013 as well. So that is how far back he goes. So Tampa Pro is gonna be another great show. And do let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys have winning here? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.